Hey.
Spark spike.
Ready?
Yep, be ready.
Let's not have a 2-hour episode this time.
That was because we had a shit ton to go over, but this time we don't.
Hey, welcome back everybody to another episode of V-Time, episode 220. 22 is my favorite number, or one of my favorite numbers.
Really?
22 and 11, those two.
Why? Because they're multiple of 11?
Well, 11 was my favorite number at first because it was my first jersey number when I was 11, so it kind of stuck. And then I got to college and was like, well, 11 is already taken. What do I do? 22, perfect. It's one less than 23 Michael Jordan. Perfect.
Interesting theory. Okay, cool.
Look, man, college me, mine worked really weird. So I picked numbers for reasons that were completely arbitrary.
Hey, numbers are a great thing for you. They mean shit to me.
There you go. Anywho, we got a not jam-packed episode because we are only covering 1 week worth of news and leaks and all that. And as we mentioned previously, Tom, we're going to stop talking about the small stuff, commons and rares, unless they have impactful effects, and focus on the bigger stuff.
Yeah.
Hector, everybody.
I'm watching the trailer on the little fandom thing on the wiki. I'm trying to figure out what the anime was.
It's Dragon Ball.
No, that's now that one I know it's Dragon Ball Super, but the one before that where it was like guns. And
anyway, let's get this stuff.
Oh yes, package for Mr. Top Deck Heroes.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. Mr. Top Deck Heroes. Mr. Top Deck Heroes, your package. Man, another one? What is with this guy? Mr. Top Deck Heroes. Again.
Oh, Melody again.
Mr. Top Deck Heroes, your package. Oh God, thank you, that was heavy. What's in that one?
Oh, trading cards.
Cards. Was every one of them cards?
Yeah.
How can you afford that?
Oh, that's interesting you say that. I got it from this place called
Secret.
Man, these people are crazy.
It's no secret. 50 cards. Use code TD Heroes for a discount.
Starting us off with some really cool, because we saw double rare support for a lot of the encounter cards from previous sets. And lo and behold, we're just continuing this trend. And this time it's Narukami's turn with Spark Spike Dragon. Say that 10 times fast.
No, thank you.
Do not. Please do not. Anyway.
I thought about it for a second.
Yeah, it has 3 nifty abilities. The first one that's going to be very similar to all the other encounter support cards, which says continuous. If you have a Vanguard only Narukami for its clan, this card belongs only to Narukami. Basically lets your standard decks for whatever they might need for Narukami reasons, select this for Narukami effects. Its other ability is continuous rearguard. If you have a Vanguard only Narukami for its clan, all of your rearguards in the same column as this unit get power 5k. If your Vanguard attack hits 2 or more times this turn, they get 10k instead of 5k. And then auto rearguard at the end of the ability is boosted. If your Vanguard attack hit 2 or more times this turn, Energy Blast 3, draw a card. Overall, not bad.
No, not bad. It's making use of the new energy stuff.
It stays on board, so as long as your Vanguard keeps hitting 2 units and then you boost with this at the end, or at the end of the battle they did boost it, I can technically boost the Vanguard and do it, you will be drawing a card for Energy Blasting 3, which is not bad, and then being able to pump anything up by 5k or 10k means that you can boost with this, and if something gets replaced in the front row of this on rearguard with a new attacker or even restands, that thing will also still be getting the power buff, which is just good.
True. And also negates the cause for Vermilion.
Pretty much. There is one downside to this card though. you're never getting the draw or 10k against decks like Greedon, against decks like Velstra, against decks that don't just have a board presence at all.
Well, that's kind of like, occupational hazard, It is what it is.
It do be what it do be. So, with that, let's continue on the Dragon Empire train, but talk about VSPO again.
Oh, those things again.
You're going to find this one potentially intriguing.
Alright, well, this one's the starter, which is first map, Aizawa Emma. Just looks like a
Simple,
little...
straightforward.
Yeah, looks like a little Japanese girl. There's a shrine entrance behind her.
I will say all of the arts we're going to talk about this specific VSPO Dragon Empire Dual Nation ride line, I do enjoy. I feel like the aesthetic is really nice. It's like Tamayura's, but more calmer and cleaner. So the next one we have, of course, because of that, is Hardworking Novice Maiden, Aizawa Emma. She's a grade 1 ride line, and as all the other VSPOs, she starts off with saying, continuous, if your Vanguard is VSPO, this card gets all of the following abilities, making it basically to where you can't play these in Dragon Empire Dark States Lyrical decks, since you do not have the necessary Vanguard. Continuous Vanguard, if your opponent has one or less rear guards, when you ride a grade 2 card with Aizawa Emma in its card name from ride deck, you can ride without discarding a card from hand. And then auto, when this unit is rolled upon by a grade 2 card with Aizawa Emma in its card name, if your opponent has 2 or more rear guards, soul charge 2. So it's basically like depending on your opponent's board state at the time, you get one or the other ability.
Pretty much the Gandiva effect.
Which I feel like it's nice because no matter what happens, you're going to get something out of it. And I'm going to assume soul charging for this deck is very important. So you're basically giving your opponent a choice when they see your Vanguard. It's like, okay, either you're going to give me a board, which will help me soul charge, which I need for my conditions, or you're not going to give me a board, which means I'll get to ride for free.
Mm-hmm.
Which do you prefer less?
So pick your poison.
Pretty much. So we'll see why in a minute.
So this is the grade 2 called Exorcism Lightning Fire, Aizawa Emma. I'm not gonna lie, I see what you mean by the art, because damn, that is actually really cool art.
Right?
And then same thing with the SPO. The other effects is when this unit is rode upon by a grade 3 card with Aizawa Emma on its card name, search a deck for the Kagero Toto call to request shuffle your deck. Basically the same thing as calling out the grade 2 that supports it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the other effect, auto rigor, when your grade 3 or greater regular attacks, this unit gets plus 5k until the end of turn.
Keep note, because we already know what the Vanguard's going to do. This is an auto ability, and it's not once per turn.
Oh, that is true.
So every time, I emphasize, every time your Vanguard attacks, she'll gain 5k power.
I don't like the way you said that.
Well, don't worry, because we got Sunlight Galaxy Aizawa Emma. She's the grade 3, the main boss unit for this Dragon Empire VSPO Dual Nation boss ride line, whatever you want to call it. And she only has 2 abilities. Act Vanguard once per turn cost, Soul Blast 2, draw a card, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, bind it. If you did not bind the card, your opponent chooses 2 cards from their drop and binds them.
I like that.
Shit, I fucked up. Continuing the ability, I'll tell you later. Second ability, Auto Vanguard once per turn. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked. Counter+1, discard a card from hand. Stand this unit, and it gets drive -1 until the end of turn. If your opponent's bind zone has 10 or more cards, or you persona row this turn, this unit also gets critical +1 until the end of turn.
Okay, I see the, every single time it attacks.
I do like the first, it's just a 13k twin drive, restand, -1 drive, so 1 drive check, but still gains crit. It's missing a little power on its own ability, but it might get power from somewhere else.
Yeah, I was noticed that it's like it might be a 13k one drop check double critical, but it's still 13k.
So why I say I fuck up? Either the video is already out, probably not, or the video will be getting recorded. We might change this because I feel it to be potentially unfair. Because it says you bind one of your opponent's rearguards, and if you couldn't, you choose 2 of cards from their drop and bind them. We're planning. We might change it. We're planning to put this VSPO Dragon Empire versus Glass. So if they're making you pick cards from drop, you can pick the thing that can't get bound. So you're preventing them from doing their mechanic. Oh, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Anyway, Hector, read the support card. Maybe there's some power to be had here.
It's a grade 2 called At My Pace Anywhere Kogara Toto. And then obviously the whole Vispio thing. And the auto skill. If your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this cost may be paid with Energy Blast 3. When the unit is placed on rear guard, cost kind of +1, search your deck for the one Let's Charge Together Gonzalez, which would be the grade 1 that every other grade 2 support card has. I like the funny name where it says Let's Together Gonzalez. Like, why the fuck's the name gotta be Gonzalez?
Look, man, its own theme.
The other skill is auto rearguard. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard attacks, if you have a Let's Charge Together Gonzalez in the same column, this unit gets +5k at the end of the turn. Nice little.
So it's just
23k beat stick.
Just a 23k beat stick. Now let's look at what actually. You also misread it, good sir. It's actually pronounced Let's Charge Together Gonzalez. There's so many A's in there.
No.
It's the grade 1 that gets called by the grade 2, and as always, same if your Vanguard's VSPO get all the following abilities. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard, your opponent chooses a card from their drop and binds it. Again, this might be a terrible idea for Glass. Or for this deck against Glass. And then auto rearguard at the end of battle, this unit boosts it at the pace anywhere Kogara Toto. Put 2 rearguards in the same column as this unit into soul. Choose one of your opponent's rearguards and bind it. If you did not bind a card, your opponent chooses 2 cards from their drop and binds them. So it's just an accelerate bind mechanic. But I'm seeing a main problem of this deck is your Vanguard's power is none.
Yeah, it's non-existent.
I feel like there's ways to mitigate this with some Dragon Empire support. You could potentially play the new order that says when your Vanguard stands, all your front row units gain +10k power to kind of help you. There's not much else I can think of right off the top of my head. I feel like playing... this deck is going to be... The other 2 decks were really straightforward and had some interesting combo pieces. This deck will need some cooking because I know one card that's... Go for it.
I would say, like, it's considering it's Dragon Empire. Basically, what they want you to do is use the Dragon Empire stuff to completely empty their board, and then use these skills to bind from the drop zone because you can't bind from the rear guard, and speed it up as fast as it can.
So yes, I agree, but there's also other cards inside of Dragon Empire that actually could potentially be put in here to speed everything up even more. I just need to remember if they are restricted to certain conditions or not. Because there's one card that I remember reading. Here we go. And that is, among other things... One sec. There it is. It's this nifty little grade 3 that says, when this unit attacks, Soul Blast 1, your opponent chooses 3 cards from their drop and binds them. If they could not bind 3 cards, this unit gets 10k power until the end of that battle.
That would work extremely well.
Yeah, because it just scraps 3 and binds them. So let's say you ride grade 3, right? You get your grade 2 because of the ride line. The grade 2 gets the grade 1. The grade 1 on plays binds 1. So you're already at 1. Then the Vanguard ability can activate. So you're either at 2 or 3, depending on their board state. If you attack with this first, you can get to either 6 or 5. And then if you attack with the grade 2 and put it into soul using the grade 1's ability, if I remember correctly again, I need to scroll back to it. On boost, choose one of your opponent's rigors and bind it. So it's either 1 or 2 again. So you go from 5, 6 to potentially either 8 or 6. So with that combo and just that combo in mind, you can get between 8 to 6 cards in bind on your first grade 3 ride. And then your next grade 3 ride, you should be able to get to 10 if you couldn't Persona ride. The only problem...
there's probably some other cards that can speed it up even more to try to get to 10.
This is just one card that came to mind. There's definitely other ways you can potentially have this work. One thing that did come to mind as well, for a couple things that this deck needs to fixing is power to the Vanguard, because the 13k Vanguard swinging twice is not going to do anything. Find a way to bind more, yada yada yada. There's one inherent problem with this and the lyrical deck. I say inherent. Dark States just has access to this. Oh no, wait.
You realize something important.
What is this?
This thing looks like to be a fire chicken of some kind.
No. What is this entire deck? What nations?
Dragon Empire.
Guess what? Guess what?
You and that card.
No, Hector, think about it. One problem that I wanted to say Lyrical and Dragon Empire have is the fact that once you put them into Soul using the chicken, the grade 1's abilities, and do the extra effect, they're lost to you forever. In Dark States, they're not, because you can pull them out of Soul with Dark States type effects. So you can kind of reuse them. Well, this is a Dark States Dragon Empire card. So for 1 CB, you can recall that grade 2, use 3 energy, call another chicken. So now you have a bind another one, and then when they attack and get put into Soul, you have a bind another one. Or 2 more.
Yeah, that'll definitely work.
That will definitely work. I like the Dual Nations. The Dual Nations are fucking proving themselves really fast. And that's also retire if you want to pop something on their opponent's board, since you might already have a good board setup. So they have less cards to bind, so you bind more from drop.
Yeah. It's funny how these donations keep helping each other out like this.
I know, ain't it great? Anyway, moving on. We have more cards to talk about. And this time we have the Tuesday stream continued, because this was on the Tuesday stream. And as such, we also got Luard revealed. Hector, start us off. What do we get?
This one's called Illusory Lantern Demonic Lady Folklore. Auto, when this unit is placed, it's a grade 1, but I didn't mention that. It is auto, when this unit is placed on the rear guard from hand, energy charge 1, which, as we see in the video, can be very annoying.
Yeah.
And then the other is auto rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If you energy blast 3 or more for at the same time for the cost of your card's ability this turn, retire this unit and draw a card. Which this pretty much just straight helps Venus Luard.
This helps Venus. Well, when we get to her, this helps Glass when we get to him. And this helps any Dark Stage deck that can either energy blast that much through one effect, be it using the cycle cards from set 1 on Persona Ride turns, be it using their own Vanguard abilities if they have any, or even by energy blasting 7 and drawing a card, will still activate this card. Because this is the merit of this card. For those Dark Stage decks that don't care about energy, you can place this, gain an energy gun first, and on turn 3's energy blast 7 and draw a card, and then end of turn draw a card another for this.
It's not bad. It's a very nice hand draw.
It's simple but good. and simple and good, we get a new Pale Moon, technically. This is following the trend of encounters and double rares. We have Showered Applause Dragon. Not Starry Pop Dragon, but Showered Applause Dragon. It's a grade 3 Dark Stage double rare for Lukier that says continuous if your Vanguard with only Pale Moon for its clan. This card is also Pale Moon for. This card is also only from Pale Moon. Jesus Christ, I can't read. This helps with the Lukier order if you want to put something into Soul and call this out because of this count as Pale Moon, yada yada yada. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have a Vanguard only Pale Moon for its clan, choose a card from your drop and you may put it into Soul. Simple, straightforward. And last but not least, continuous rearguard during your turn. If your unit was placed on rearguard from Soul this turn, this gets 5k power. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this gets 10k instead of 5k. And with the way Lukier plays, this will always be active.
It's nice.
See, Hector, the last Lukier, well, I say last because we got a new one. The last Lukier, in order to call stuff from Soul, you can only call 3 cards. They had to be different grade, and it cost a counterblast. Well, they fixed that.
Oh yeah, they fixed it a little too fucking well. So, the name of this one is Silverthorn Dragon Empress Venus Lukier. It has the same name, the same effect as some of the other ones, where it says during turn, if your someone has a Silverthorn Dragon Named Lukier, this unit gets 5k. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, all of your front row unit gets plus 5k instead of this unit. So a nice little mini Persona ride.
Pretty much.
And then the Axe skill. Vanguard, once per turn, costs Energy Blast 3, and put a card from your hand to Soul. Choose any number of grade 3 or less unit cards with different grades from your Soul, and call them to rearguard. Notice the any number of grade 3s, not restricted to only 3. Yeah. And then Auto Vanguard, when this unit attacks cost, put 2 rearguards into the Soul, draw a card, and this unit gets plus 5k until the end of that battle. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, it also gets plus 1 critical until the end of that battle, which can be very annoying.
Yeah, it can. It's only a 23k if you don't Persona Ride, but it's still 23k double crit that you have to guard.
Yeah, you're just like, well, shit, it's a very weak one, but it's double critical inherently.
And now her call effect is Energy Tide, which you gain 3 energy at the start of every turn, and you use 3 energy for her, so you're always going to have her. And which means your CB is left open for any other effects, aka mainly the order now. She's such an awesome fucking upgrade.
Playing against
and I do like how
it is definitely an upgrade to what it used to be.
I do like how you still won't say required, but you get better if you run the old Lukier and find a way to put it into Soul. It's just quality of life, man. It's just good quality of life. Alright. Moving on. Speaking of more encounter cards, Lukier might have got a new ability, but every one of them except for PBO and Majesty and Overlord. So all the other encounters we have been getting in these previous sets are getting double rare support. And this time is Genesis' turn with Freezing Magic Throros. She's a grade 2 for Catter that says continuous if you have a Vanguard only Genesis for its clan. This card is only from Genesis. And then Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard Minerva in its card name, cost Soul Blast 2 and choose 2 normal units with the same card name and without Sentinel from your drop. If you choose 2 cards, put a card from among them into hand and return the rest to deck and shuffle a deck. So I will be completely honest and say I'm a little bit skeptical about this effect. Some have told me that it's not bad, that it actually works. It is when placed, so you can Soul Blast 2 Melissas to pull onto the board. There's potential here. You can even, let's say if your soul's abundant of them, you can Soul Blast 2 Angelicas and then put 1 Angelica on the bottom, 1 Angelica in the hand. So now you have Angelicas ready to go for that turn. I see some lines, but I would need to test this card completely to give my full verdict. Because right now it feels a bit clunky. Just a bit.
Just a tiny bit clunky. I mean,
yeah, and you also
there's
can't use
very
it early
limited
game.
space.
You have to use it
yeah.
on grade 3.
It's very limited space in Minerva, anyways.
Well, you technically gain 4 more cards with the 50 deck increase.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll be cooking Minerva, see if I can cook something up. It just, you got to be really careful. Soul management is very important in Minerva. I do like this card for another factor that came to mind first time I read it. Late game, you can Soul Blast 2 of the good grade 1 we got in set 8 to put one of it back to deck and one back to hand so you can do more shenanigans.
Yeah, that grade 1 is annoying.
Yeah, it puts its soul, grabs a Genesis from drop to hand. It just does a lot of good things. Anyway, moving on. 1 sec.
Clearly, we're not moving on.
Okay. The PV showed us not only Lukier and her little dragon applause, but also another card that was meant to be a little bit more hyped up, but I'll be honest, felt with a little bit of disappointment.
So this one is the grade 1 called Mary Wildmaster Avril. It's only a double rare, so you don't have to be too bad. But the skill of this one is when this unit is placed on rearguard, you may soul charge 1. Very standard, Dark State's Pale Moon. And the other effect is auto rearguard was returned when your other unit is placed on the same column as this unit. If your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5k into the end of turn. Yeah, you can have that. I can tell that's very lackluster.
It's a budget swirler. It's a fucking budget swirler. Just put swirler in the deck. It does the exact same fucking thing and can even get bigger. Hell, if this card gave the 5k to the unit placed in front of it, I'd say something different, but it doesn't.
That would be a whole different annoying ass shit.
Honestly, yeah, this card should have been warded. Still the same first effect. Fuck it, soul charge, whatever you want. But this card should have been warded auto rearguard when your other unit is placed in the same column as this unit. That unit, if your Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, sure. That unit gains 5k power, and don't make it once per turn. That way you can actually put it somewhere like Luke here, which was teased and looks like it might go. And when you start calling stuff out of soul, the called unit will also gain 5k.
Yeah, that's a little too much though.
Yeah, but that makes more sense than this. For a double rare. This is a common, maybe rare effect at most.
At that point, you'd be rich in triple rest status and territory.
Hector, we have so many, and I can't preface this enough, so many grade 1s that gain 5k power for any and all different conditions to be 13k boosters. Tacking on a soul charge 1 on top of that does not make it double rare quality.
No, I agree, but they also kind of needed friendship for a little bit because of Ari as well.
Then make a different effect. Make a completely different effect. Don't do this effect. Anyway, I'm gonna move on before I get an aneurysm.
Oh god.
Who read that card? You or me?
I did. So you're stuck with this name.
Sure, whatever. Innocent Innovation Lala Pokoko. It's the starter for our boy Glass. Simple, straightforward. Glass does not evolve. He has different people for his starter. Hey, Hector, have fun wrapping your head around this effect.
So it's the grade 1 for the rider line. It's called Welcome Flower Basket Pop-Up. At the beginning of your right phase, choose up to 1 Salvation of Debauchery Sheffy from your right deck and write it as stand. If you wrote a card, you and your opponent draw a card, and you cannot write until the end of turn.
I hate to burst your bubble. It's not salvation, it's statiation.
Statiation. Listen, from the very
Satiation.
Cetacean of Debauchery. Anyways, so if my understanding is you don't even ditch for your ride line, you just go to this, and
draw a card.
And
you draw a card, ride for free, and draw a card.
Yep.
But you also let your opponent draw a card because of it.
I mean, that's not a bad effect for your opponent.
It basically makes a free ride and then pluses both of you +1. Or you can choose not to. Yeah, you can choose not. Wait, and right understand. Yeah, you can choose not to activate the ability in the sense of choosing 0 and still discard a card so you don't let your opponent plus. I think because of the way this deck plays, you're always going to use this effect because you need to build a hand as much as fucking possible. So, Cetacean of Debauchery Sheffy. I actually like the name.
Yeah, I
like the art and name. Yeah, I mean, an art that serves food. It has me. It has me right away. Auto. When this unit is wrought upon by one who governs rituals, sacrifice glass, soul blast one, search your deck for up to one sweet bait, reveal it and put it into hand, and shuffle the deck. When this unit is placed on rearguard, choose a grade 3 or greater card with Grand Dogma in its card name from your damage zone, and you may put it into hand. If you put a card, choose a card from your hand and put it into your damage zone. This effect, outside of finding sweet bits, we'll get to, it's a normal order. This effect, because the way it's worded, is technically countercharge 1.
Technically, yeah, but I think it's more just the fixer.
It's a fixer, yeah, but you never actually specify face down, face up. So you technically countercharge if you just counterblast the Dogma. So you counterblast it, you put it to hand, you choose any card from your hand, put it into your damage zone, and now you've basically countercharged.
In a very convoluted way, but yes.
Exactly. Now, okay, let's get to the 3 important cards. Glass, Sweet Bits, and Dogma.
Alright, so this one is the main grade 3 boss. One who governs rituals, sacrifice glass. And this is this effects. Auto, Vanguard. At the beginning of your main phase, you get, when your opponent's unit is retired from rearguard or guardian circle, you energy charge 1 until the end of turn. That already...
Wait. Hold the phone. Continue the full effect while my mind gets blown. Continue.
Did you not know? Okay.
Go, just continue.
Auto, Vanguard. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked the Vanguard. Cost, Energy Blast 4. Search your deck, hand, or drop for up to 1 Manifesting Great Horizon Dogma. Ride at a stand, and it gets power plus 15 and drive -2 until the end of the turn. If you search the deck, shuffle the deck. If you wrote a card, your opponent may draw a card.
I'm going to be completely honest. I did not read Guardian Circle the first time around.
Bruh. You didn't read that?
Holy shit, that changes everything.
Yeah. Like,
This changes everything.
You're going to get a shit ton of energy because, they're going to be guarding the hell out of this thing.
Oh, the way the deck needs to be played is already being literally drawn in front of me. Holy shit, wait a minute. Oh, fuck. I did not read Guardian Circle the first time. Holy shit.
Rearguard or Guardian Circle.
On top of that, the fact that you ride Manifest Great Horizon Raw Dogma, you basically get a Youthberg type effect. But it's better than Youthberg because you can ride from drop or deck. Or sorry, hand or drop.
Hand, drop, or deck. All 3.
So yeah, there we go. So it's better than Youthberg. All right, let's look at some of the other cards and more towards what actually you're riding. Manifest Great Horizon Grand Dogma. It's also Guardian Circle. Holy shit. Sorry, that's gonna, oh my god, that's gonna hold me. Her effect is auto. When this card is bound, other than by the ability of a card with the same card name as this card, put this card into drop. Fuck you, Narukami. Fuck you, Sojidoji. Fuck this, fuck that. You cannot bind this. We'll talk about Sojidoji again for a different reason, but for right now, fuck you. And then auto Vanguard. Once per turn, at the end of the battle, this unit attacked, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. If your bind zone has 1 or more cards with the same card name as this unit, Also choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. And if your bind zone has 2 or more cards with the same card name as this unit, stay in this unit. And then auto Vanguard. At the end of your turn, if your bind zone has 1 or less cards with the same card name as this unit, choose a one who governs ritual sacrifice glass from your soul and write it as rest. If you wrote a card, bind this card. So right away, back to Sojodoji, please don't. Just please don't. I beg of you, please don't.
Listen, you get to like a big tournament, you're playing this, your opponent, rolls out is that the Shojodoji starter? Yeah. Listen, man, you showed me a Shojodoji red line, you get the win. Shows it.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. So here's the thing. Actually, I'm going to talk about everything when we talk about... Actually, I'm going to talk about everything now real quick. So the idea here is that you're on glass, you have this main ability that retire energy, guardian circles get retired energy, yada, yada, yada. So he attacks, you energy blast 4, you ride Guardian Dogma from deck, drop, or hand. More likely you're going to start deck before you go to drop, and last resort is hand, yada, yada, yada. And you now ride something that's a 28k with no drive checks. That also retires, and retires again if there's a copy of it. The idea here is the fact that it only re-rides glass at the end of turn if you have 1 or less. So when you get your 3rd Vanguard attack because of her own ability, which in this case would be only during turn... So turn 4 you bind 1, turn 5 you bind another one. So turn 6 is where you feasibly get 3 Vanguard attacks, right? Mm-hmm. Getting that far, 2 Vanguard extra attacks is basically just saying, let me finish it. Or turn 5, thank you, turn 5. So turn 3 you ride grade 3. Turn 4, you bind the second one. Turn 5 is when you do it. By turn 5, you're already trying to potentially finish out the game, so that makes sense. The only downside is that when you get to turn 5 and do this, you don't rewrite glass. You stay on Dogma, which means you can't Persona ride unless you have another Dogma. You have to, if you want to do the whole shtick again, you have to ride a new glass, so you have to kind of keep it in hand and have a guaranteed Persona ride in hand. So there's a downside. So even against Sojodoji that says, now let me reset you back to 0 or stuff like that, so you never get your full 3 Vanguard swings, at least you're constantly riding back down to glass and keep doing your mechanic. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, you stick with yourself, it's just Shojodoji is just going to take full advantage of that and say, fuck you, you're not getting your shit.
If you ever manage to pull off 3 Vanguard attacks using Dogma's ability against a Sojodoji player, that's not Sojodoji bricking. That's just them being a bad player or having a bad built deck. I am so sorry to say that. If Dogma manages to swing 3 times against a Sojodoji player, they are doing something wrong.
Agreed. I agree.
All right. Now let's actually address the issue of when you stay on Dogma, what do you do? Or the issue of, well, what if your opponent's playing a deck that doesn't have a board? When are you going to retire an energy charge? Here's a fucking answer.
So the answer is in the form of the order. It's a grade 3 order that was searched by the grade 2 ride line, which is, the fact is this, it's a normal order. It's play this with cost counter +1.
What's its name?
This name, oh yeah, Sweet Bait.
There we go.
The same searched by the grade 2 order, or the grade 2 red line anyways. So, counter +1, and then you perform one of the following effects, according to your Vanguard's name. So, if you are on one who governs a ritual sacrifice glass, until the end of your turn, your opponent gets all of your rear guards and cards and your drops lose all of their continuous abilities and all of their auto abilities and cannot gain them and cannot move from rear guard to guardian circle. That's the whole red text. And then your opponent chooses 3 unit cards from the drop, calls them to open rear guards. You draw a card for every 3 of you and your opponent's rear guards in total.
Yay.
That's a little stupid right there. And then the other effect is if you are stuck on the Manifesting Great Horizon Grand Dogma. This skill is, if your Vanguard was not placed during the ride phase of this turn, aka you didn't Persona Ride, activate Persona Ride, choose any number of cards with different grades other than heal and over from your drop, and return them to the deck and shuffle the deck.
So, what you're telling me is that this order shuts off all of your opponent's rearguard and Guardian's rearguard abilities and cards from drop abilities, and gives the cards, or gives the opponent the effect that those cards cannot gain any abilities and cannot move from rearguard to Guardian Circle by any abilities. And you also draw a card, minimum 1, because you call 3 of theirs, but if you have a full board, you draw another one.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, if you have a full board, because it says to draw a card for every 3 of your opponent's rear guards in total. So if you have 5 rear guards and they call 3, you're only drawing 2. But if for some reason your opponent had a rear guard left, granted, they does check all your rear guards. Your opponent chooses 3 cards, drop it, and calls into open rear guard. There we go. So yeah, if your opponent had one, if your opponent had 1 card on board, you're guaranteed to draw 3 cards.
Mm-hmm.
If you have your own full board, to be clear.
Yeah. You have your own 4 board, they have 1, you get call them 3 more, and you like that. I mean, they did it specifically so that, most decks usually want this kind of effect that can't be moved from rear guard to Guardian Circle, to protect themselves. Except this one fucking time.
So they can't intercept, and they can't be used for intercept for other abilities. They can't, like, for example, you can't even use the new set orders that came from Festival to intercept with cards as well. You can't use even effects like Mag Elder, the grade 4, that gives all your grade 2s the ability to intercept from the back row. So they can't move.
They can't move. They suck.
There is only one deck that came to mind that counters this effect. And it's like a double-edged sword at that point. Against Eva, you turn off Obscurate's continuous rearguard ability to be able to intercept. The grade 3s at least. However, you can't turn off the set orders ability that prevents your Obscurates getting retired. So you can't actually retire those Obscurates with Glass or any other abilities to energy charge 1. So while they don't have their interceptors, you can't retire the Obscurates. So Eva is probably the best counter because they can just choose 3 Obscurates and call on the board, and now you have 3 cards that you can't retire.
Yeah.
And that's the only deck that comes to mind.
Bastion protects the rear guards, but only in the front row. That protects them from being retired.
Exactly. And if you've already filled your front row and haven't gotten rid of it, you have to call to open rear guard, which means you're going to call to your back row.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the only other way to get rid of them is still attacking into them. But that, that's attacking into them. That's not attacking into Vanguard. But the point is, Glass will get the retire regardless. You just can't retire them by effects. But it's still good. And then the other effect I wanted to mention, being able to go, oh, look, I can put anything. Let me put a Persona Ride, a grade 2, a grade 1, and a grade 0. Or, you know what? The game's gone long enough. Let me just put an extra fucking crit in deck and shuffle it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I read that the first time, I thought it said choose like any number of cards without the different grades. And yeah, I'm thinking, holy shit, they're putting everything, but all fucking 8 crits back. Like they're pulling off a fucking Razzie. Yeah, I was like, that's a fucking that's a Razzie divine skill. Why are they just giving it for free here?
No.
No, but I was like, so different grades. Okay, we're good. We are good.
Okay. The best part here, it's not over. We have 2 more cards of support. And this card makes more sense now. Holy shit, this card makes so much more sense now. We have a grade 1 rare for this deck that's called Miasma Valley Beast Madurura. It's an 8K grade 1 that says act rearguard once per turn cost. Soul Blast 1, discard a card from hand, choose a sweet bits from your drop, and it gets continuous. This card can be played from drop, and when it would be put into drop after play, put it on the bottom of the deck instead until the end of turn. So you can play those sweet bits. You can find one. If you find this, you can play it again. You don't have to actually find it in hand, which is good. The other effect that makes so much more sense now. Auto rearguard at the end of your turn, Energy Blast 5 and draw a card. I was like, how the fuck are you gonna get that? Oh my god, it's Guardian Circle.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit.
Now it makes sense to you.
You can put 2 of these fucking dogs on the board. Energy Blast 10, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna get there. And just draw 2 cards at the end of the turn. Hell, it's not even, oh my fucking god, it's not grade 3 or 6. You can go second, throw these down, and it just Energy Blast 5 to draw an extra card. Because you're at 6 at that point. Oh my god, my brain's cooking so much. Oh, my brain is fucking cooking. Also, another point about this dog, it can technically go into any deck. I don't know any other deck that's going to energy charge as much as this. The Energy Blast 5 and drop, but it technically could.
Yeah, for one part of its effect, technically.
I do like well, technically it can also go into any deck for a second part of its effect, but you playing that order in any other deck will do absolutely nothing.
Unless you just like Sea Bleeding for no reason. Sea Bleeding
I do like the synergy. Yes, I do like the synergy. There is a feasible reason to only play 2 of the sweet bait order. Because, or even 1 if you want to be ballsy, but if it gets damaged, you're fucking screwed. There's a reason to run only 2 of it, because your Ride Line searches the first one, and then you get to play it. And then as long as you see this card, you get to play it from drop, and goes to deck. And if you put in the cards that let you play orders from deck, there's another reason. So you can kind of run away with minimum 2.
Balls to the wall, run 1.
Honestly, I'm seeing honestly the cards to put in here. There's a card that I think will work really well here because you don't fucking care about energy apparently. And that's the card that's that's on play Soul Charge 1 gain 2k, but more importantly, rearguard drop. When you discard a card, Energy Blast 3, put the card you discarded back in the hand. You have the energy.
Yeah, you have the energy.
You have shit like this. This just might work. Holy fucking shit. Alright, last glass support card that's honestly bonkers as well.
Now it makes sense why I look at. I thought it was what you would call it. I thought it was a like a zombie Stoichia looking dude. But this name is Eternal Musician Musi. It's a grade 2. Auto front row rear guard. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with sacrifice glass and its card name attacks, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. It's forward straight simple. And then auto rear guard, when your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Grand Dogma and its card name attacks, this unit gets 10,000 power, 10,000 to the end of turn. So it's got 1 for every single one of your units like that.
Yep. This is only going to happen on turn 5. This can gain 20k power.
Yeah.
It's an auto ability that's not once per turn. So your Dogma swings twice, it'll gain 20k power.
Mm-hmm. See, getting 20k power like this with, take 2 Dogma turns on turn 5, I understand. Fuck your little dragon, just 30k for no reason.
Rising Dragon. Huzzah, look here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, but that's a very simple, straightforward effect. On attack, retire, energy charge 1, and on the second attack, gain 10k power, so you have a nice little beater next to everything else. Not bad. Moving on. We're going to finish this with the long stretch with some Silhouette support. So if Mythiar could get support, so could Silhouette. And a lot of people hyped it up because we thought we were going to get it, and they were correct. We got the fucking drilling our hell to the heavens.
That was terrible.
I know, there's too much Gurren Lagann jokes going around, so I'm just going to keep going on them. So you believe in the me that believes in you, that believes in the me telling you this thing is really fucking good. Because we got Armed Arms Drill. It's a grade 2, like all the other Armed Arms. So you can search it with your order, you can call it to rearguard with the Silhouette ride line, you can do a lot of things with this. And its abilities are auto Vanguard Rearguard. When this unit attacks, put a card with armed arms in its card name from your drop into soul and perform one of the following according to the circle this unit is on. If this is on the Vanguard circle, if this unit is attached with 2 or more cards, this unit gets critical +1 until the end of battle. And if this is on the Rearguard circle, this unit gets power 5k until the end of that battle, making a 15k beater, combined with a promo, a 20k beater.
And if I'm not mistaken, the +1 critical carries over to Silhouette.
Not exactly. So I made a mistake in the last recording I did with Silhouette, but I don't think it changed the outcome of the game too much because I think the OT got ripped in the same instance. Basically, the only things when Silhouette gets armed by the arms that transfer to Silhouette are the arms power and the arms abilities, not the critical or anything else. So if you put power on the arms while they are attached to Silhouette, Silhouette will also gain that power, but when the arms get detached, they will keep the power they were given while attached to Silhouette. As for the effects, the Silhouette basically gains all the effects. That's why these things are worded Vanguard Rearguard, and they say if this unit is attached with 2 or more cards, because while it's on Vanguard attached, this effect will be Silhouette's effect.
Okay, so it only gets a +1 critical if it's attached with 2 or more when it's attacking at that time.
Correct. So Silhouette very much now became a PG or GG type of Vanguard.
Rather than, oh, it's whatever, 50k something? Sure, I'll just go ahead and take it.
Yeah, I'll take the 1. Oh, you're swinging with 38 right now? I'm at grade 2. Oh, you're double critical 38? Oh, if you hit a front trigger, you're going to get to 68? Yeah, that's how that works. But that's not the only card we got to support. We got 2 more, and these 2 are really fucking good. Hector, start us off.
This is the grade 1 called Repair Robo Ronnie. Auto. When this unit is placed on rearguard, cost so +1, look at the top 7s of your deck, search, choose up to 2 cards with armed arms and their different card names from among them, reveal them, choose one of the reveal cards, put into hand, and discard the rest of the reveal cards and shuffle the deck. And then the other skill, Auto Rearguard. When you grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Silhouette and his card's name attacks, cost so +1 and retire this unit. And to the end of that battle, when your opponents would call cards from the hand of your Guardian Circle, they must call 2 or more at the same time. Wow.
So a big number, double crit, and now guard restrict. Huzzah!
Damn, Silhouette just became a threat.
He really did. He really fucking did.
Jesus Christ.
I like the wording of this card because what is going to happen whenever you play Silhouette, you're going to swing with your armed arms first, boosted by this. So you're going to benefit from a booster because the armed arms at first are not that strong. So let's say you boost the drill, that's a 23k swing right away. And then you might boost with the other side, whatever. You're going to attach them both to Vanguard, and then you're going to retire this and call this, and then when you detach, hopefully you hit triggers and stuff. But at least your first swing is going to get boosted, which honestly is a nice quality of life change for Silhouette.
Yeah.
On top of that, the fact that this thing just deck fins 2 cards potentially. Because now you have 12 targets. And that's not where it all ends. There's more. Support Drone Manny. Grade 1 rare. Auto when this unit is put on Guardian Circle. If you have a Vanguard Silhouette in its card name, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose any number of cards with armed arms and their different card names from among them. Call them to Guardian Circle and shuffle the deck. If you did not call a card, this unit gets shielded 5k until the end of that battle. So it's an almost always minimum 10k shield, or best case scenario, Magical Christmas Land off the top 5, it can be a 20k shield.
You know what be funny?
Sure, go.
If you're using if you're playing against glass and you place this, but you can't do shit.
Why not?
Because if it doesn't Sweet Bait prevent all effects. Oh, it's only on rear guard and drop. Okay, so yeah, you're fine on Guardian Circle. Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine on Guardian Circle.
the moment they do start touching that shit, we got a problem.
However, if you do call out the top deck 5s for a 20k shield, 4 cards are getting retired. Glass is going to energy charge 4. So take that as you fucking will. All right, so that has been it for the leaks. Really cool stuff. I can't wait to test a lot of these out. Glass and Silhouette included. But now we got to talk about some other stuff. And that is more about info on the Stride deck sets coming out for Hari and Luard. One piece of information or art we have technically seen is the fact that we are apparently getting Dragon Masquerade Hari as one of the cards in the G-Zone in his illustration basically. And we've also gotten confirmation on Hari's ride line, which in this case seems to be Happy Collector for the grade 0, Moonlight Melody Tamer Betty for the grade 1, and Card Dealer Jacqueline for the grade 2. Did I say Luard? I meant Hari.
Sorry,
these Stride deck sets. These Stride deck sets get all mixed in. Hari and Night Rose, not Luard. Jesus Christ.
No, it's
Hari
almost like
Rose.
it's almost like they should have stayed in the past. You know.
Shh. I know you don't have any thoughts on the ride lines, but I'll just continue with Night Rose, not Luard. Night Rose.
I do have thoughts. I like the grade 0. I like the artwork for that one.
Oh, there we go. Well, you did play some Grand Blue back in the day, right?
Yeah, 7 Cs.
Oh, there we go. Well, we're getting Mist, Phantom, Pirate, and Night Rose in the G Zone. I do like that art a little bit. I like the dress. I like the red Hari a lot. Sorry, Hari. Night Rose. God damn, I'm mixing up names. I like the red Night Rose art a lot.
I do like that. And it's kind of funny how they have like her red sword, and then like in the OG, her like outfit was blue.
Yep. And then this was a little bit of a shocker when it got revealed. We're getting Undying Depart Grenache for the starter, which made sense. Parting Shade, that I'm hearing for the first time in all honesty. And not in the deck is a good card, but in the ride line, Pirate Sword Columbard.
Pirate Sword Columbard.
Columbard's one of the main combo pieces for Night Rose. He's the one that's in V that says on place counterblast 1, choose a card from your deck, put it into drop, and then choose a card from drop, call it to rear guard. So he was like a staple.
Why make him? Didn't they have like something else? Wasn't it like Ruin Shade? It was like Ruin Shade back
Greed Shade.
Yeah, Greed Shade. So
Greed
Shade,
was like, I think.
Green Shade, Ruin Shade. I remember them being back in G, like is your grade 2 that you wanted to.
Columbard did have a Vanguard ability as well for that. But, you know, for G, thank you, Peanut Gallery. For G, Greed Shade was the, the original. So Columbard's like a very interesting pick. Anyway, for the most part, that's been it for the news. And we're going to end this episode here by talking about one more topic real quick before we discuss what we're going to be seeing next week. Sets here in English, as well as Japan, are dropping one after another. This is going to be a very packed couple of months for us. Because thank you and shout out to Curly for this graphic. The days between Japanese and English releases is actually sticking to about 85 days. Exception being Festival, which is like 57 days. So we have a set, this amount of time is going to pass before we get these cards type deal. But the fact of the matter stands is that if we just look at the English side, ignore Japan for right now, you just look at the English side. We just finished May. We're June 1st at the time recording. So end of June, we're getting set 2. And then not even 2 weeks later, we're getting Festival. And then the next month, we're getting set 3. And then a month literally after that, we're getting Lyrical. And then a month literally after that, we're getting set 4. So every month, we're getting something. Which is awesome. For support.
The only month we're not getting anything is in October. But granted, we're at the end of September, at the very beginning of November.
That's basically a month. That's basically a month.
Yeah, that's the whole month October you have to save.
My point is, it's cool we're getting product after product because, you know, new stuff is always nice. On the other hand, my fucking wallet.
Oh, apparently I was wrong. Apparently set 4 is October 25th, not November 1st.
Yeah, this is an old graphic. Set 4 got fixed to October 25th, so it's actually potentially even sooner.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it is every single month. We're getting shit.
Which, if we keep this trend up, let's say 85 days, which is basically 2 months and a half, about 2 months and a half, almost 3. It's almost 3 months.
Yeah, almost 3 months.
Right?
Like yeah, 5 days short. Like 2 months and 3 weeks, give or take.
Exactly. So if we take that calculation into account, as I fucking try to scroll to the part where I know where it is, I'm trying to find the dates for the only other product we know that's coming out, and that's the Hari and Night Rose Tri deck sets are dropping September 6th, right?
For Japan?
For Japan, they're dropping September 6th, which is gonna be November. I think we're getting in December. Yeah, we're gonna get a December 25th. We're gonna get these things on Christmas. These are gonna be the Christmas things. No, wait, September, October, no, November 25th. Sorry, no, September, October. No, yeah, I said no. 85 days from September 6th should be
October, November. Right at the beginning of this, like right at the end of November before we get into December.
No, it will be, yeah, November 25th, somewhere around there. I honestly do have a phone right here, so I could honestly just look. So, let's see here. Math should be mathing right now. So, it's September, motherfucker. September 6th. And then we have, 85. So, that's 12 weeks. That's about 12 weeks. So, 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. November 22nd. That's when we're going to get the Stride deck sets, potentially. November 22nd.
Yeah, so right around perfect time for Thanksgiving. For those here in the US.
Pretty much. Thank you for being in my life. Here is a busted deck set straight out of the box.
This is going to be...
Anyway, let's. Yeah. Don't forget that if you do really drop in November, these means that both Night Rose and Hari are going to be BCS viable in 2025, or even December at that point.
I think they would be in the middle of a BCS.
Like if they drop 22nd, then November 29th they're not legal. Which means they're also not legal for the first week of December. So the rest of December, they are legal.
But typically by then, we're already halfway, if not like 3/4 of the way through for BCS.
Oh, good sir. Have you forgotten? BCS moved.
That's not corrected.
It ends March now.
It is in March, yeah. So it would be more towards the start. During the first quarter to like halfway of...
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. All right. We're actually going to finish this episode now with what we're going to be looking forward to next week. Tuesday stream is going to be revealing the Regulus piece finally that's going to be coming into set 3. How will they break it this time? And then Thursday...
It's not going to be broken. It's a defensive.
You never know.
You never know, but the way it's looking at it... you're right. I could be wrong, but it looks like it's a shield. What if it's like something like however many rear guards? You know, your Vanguard gets power for every single one.
The last regular speeds that looked like a shield was a fucking offensive blanket. That is now a $90 card.
That's a ladder, not a shield. It's a difference.
Same difference. Regardless, Thursday. We are discarding set 3 because we're going to be finished and it's going to drop in Japan the next day. So we're starting right away with DZ Lyrical Booster 1 and revealing Constellate Solace Medial, the dress-up version of Medial, as well as her 2 strengthening cards in triple rare and rare, as well as her LRS illustration. Huzzah!
Huzzah.
Real quick fact to this matter. Remember, DZ set 3 had 19 triple rares in it. Lyrical has no actual confirmation of how many triple rares are in the set. But if Medio is getting a triple rare, we can assume that everyone is getting a triple rare of the dress-ups. There's 6 dress-ups, so each of them is getting an additional triple rare. That is 12 cards already, plus a new ride line that's most likely gonna get a triple rare. So that is already 14 triple rares inside the Lyrical that is basically confirmed. Not to mention any potential generics they might decide to throw in.
So we're gonna have essentially a new, quote unquote, a new Willista.
No, we're only getting 6 set 3 dress ups. So we're getting
the way I say Willista in the terms of we're gonna have the one powerful lyrical deck that comes out of this set for PCS.
More than likely. My predictions, because the decks were powerful when they started coming out, Kyoka might become busted because she is honestly a decent power level already right now. If they decide to break again Letitia, she might be meta again. The rest of them, Michu is getting upgrades, so she can potentially be dangerous. Lifa would be nice quality of life. She never was good. Sorry, Matt. Medio getting next week was always interesting. And then the last one that I am forgetting is Hazaret, who also never was really good, so it might be interesting.
Hold on. Was Willista at the time before it got good, was that the weakest one considering out of all the lyricals that came out? So following that logic, perhaps Lifa could become the next big one.
If Lifa becomes meta, I will eat my foot. I'm sorry to say. You know what Lifa is? Lifa is lyrical.
Lifa is that giant girl, right?
Lifa is a lyrical bastion. The deck that needs so many fucking grade 3s to work. The one I'm predicting is gonna get stupid is either Michu, Kyoka, and I'm honestly putting my hat in for Medio, because Medio stuff right now, if played correctly, is already really super dangerous. So if they find a way to consistency buff and fix some of its problems, it's gonna get really fucking dangerous.
Watch. I'm pretty sure Matt is gonna hold this entire video to show you back when it does become meta.
If he can cook Lifa into a meta deck, he's gonna be he's gonna be a guest on V-Time. I'll fucking put that in stamp writing, all that. But with that all being said, let's actually end this episode here. Thank you so much for watching episode 220 of V-Time. If you like the episode, leave a like, share with your friends, comment down below what you think the dress-ups are going to do. If you're excited for, whatever else. Set 4 is also still on the horizon, no new information on that, yada, yada, yada. But if you like what we do here, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell to get notified, maybe, and become a member for some awesome perks like, supporting us in V-Time and talking to us while we record.
Peanut gallery.
With all that, peanut gallery, exactly. But with all that being said, I've been Phil.
I've been Hector.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. All right, pose for a thumbnail, and this time look into the camera that's actually recording you. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna fucking snap that. There we go.